special.
I too was at the camera test day where he told us it's just a camera test, but we'll roll on it because then we get 2 extra days of filming, but they don't know about it because it's a camera test. So if it doesn't work, that's okay, no big deal. And so the first thing I did was that scene at the piano where she's playing the piano at the very beginning. It was garbage, like terrible. And I knew it. And I was like pushing more and more, and he was like, why are you doing a baby face? What are you doing with your mouth? Who is this? And I was like, I know. Because it was like too long of thinking about this character. It's sort of, there is such a thing as too long of a time to live with someone. And then it eased up, I would say, after about a week of that, but it was really intense for the first week.
Don't take
He's like, this is the fun part. I was like, is it? Is it the fun part? For you, maybe.
Yorgo.
Oh, Yorgo. No, it was really weird. Because, and I think it is also the first, I don't know how you feel it's like as a director, but the first week or two of any project, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I don't have my sea legs and I don't know what's going on, and it has to get into the rhythm of kind of what that experience is going to feel like with those characters. And do you feel like that as a director, or you can't?
Well, I've only done 3 movies, but also 3 fantastic movies.
3 very fantastic movies.
Thank you for that rather tepid applause.
Thank you, 10. That clapped.
But I was advised and warned before my first award-winning film.
Screaming Bella?
Yeah.
That was improv.
Pulling my hair out. I was pulling my hair out. Bella! I mean, again, it was like,
Yeah, but it was so good. I like the transformation also from the first time. You're like, this is also a scene where you never got the beat on it. Very fun.
there was the straight jacket scene, which is kind of when I'm in the padded room.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wearing, it's not tied up, but it's just there in case it needs to be tied up. That was terrifying because you had to be crazy or whatever, and the acting gods smiled down on me by giving me really bad gas that day. And at one point, I don't know if you realize it, but when he comes in and he tells me
it's real,
it's just like, and we were off. Rami was totally mortified and humiliated. He's like, and we just went. I think it was like one take, and you got it.
Everyone loved it.
And you loved it.
Yes, that's it.
And so that was the scene that I was freaking out about, but like had a divine intervention.
You see why I whispered to him? That's a pretty good example.
And someone was like, how did they get this?
Listen to this guy. And he sent me a Spotify album of Jerson Fendricks, who was a 24-year-old man that lived in the middle of England. And it was a pop album, but a really interesting pop album. And he was like, I just listened to this. I think he could be a composer. I was like, okay. So I sat and listened to it. And he's like, I'm going to reach out to him. And he did. And Jerson composed this movie, had never composed a film before. At like age 25. He's now composing the next film that we did together. He's now 28, and he's a genius. And so being privy to moments like that as it was happening and getting to sort of like hear things early and see things early and talk about all of it was absolutely beautiful. But it was, not to be mistaken, very much a creative role and not a financial.
It was actually stupid.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's interesting. What else do you want to talk about? How much time do we have?
Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes. Can I say something really quickly? Just, it has nothing to do with this movie. Sorry. But The other night, well, like 2 weeks ago, I forced Mark at like midnight at the Palm Springs Film Festival to come hang out with me and watch his scene on the front porch, and You Can Count on Me, which I've seen like 20 times. Because I believed that it was akin to Marlon Brando and On the Waterfront with the glove. And it's when the mop lands on him and the way he keeps moving through it and he's so fluid. I was like, wait, Mark, we just watch it together. Let's just watch it together. And we sat and we watched that scene on YouTube.
That's right.
I just wanted to say that really because I'm very excited to
Before we go, I just want to say you're both magnificent, and you both remain magnificent despite your escalating stardom, which is not easy to do in this country. Really, truly, a lot of people freeze up to decide they're so great that that's the end of their being great. And you haven't, and I don't think either of you ever will.
You know what someone told me one time, and I've always thought this was fascinating when I was like 20 years old? They said, success doesn't change you. It just makes you more of what you already were. So that's a real compliment.
That's true.
That means a lot. Thank you. I'm using that, so I don't think people just turn into that.
And then just for if anyone ever says to you,